Hello everybody! Okay, I was thinking of things I could talk about, and yesterday I was driving in the city. I was driving through the city. I'm not going to tell you what city or where, but I was driving through the city, and I was driving in some neighborhoods that there were a lot of people outside, and this was not a white neighborhood. But it was very cute. There were many Vietnamese restaurants, Ethiopian restaurants. There was a Hmong grocery store. Really wonderful. And many colorful restaurant store signs and things like that. Well, there were many people outside. I saw a man who was dressed in all red leather with some sort of a costume on his head. And I would love to know what he is, what that was, because seems like he's quite the character. But there were people out waiting for the bus, and there were people talking to each other and walking around. And I saw this woman, and she was heavy set. She looked like Paloma Elsesser. That's a model that I really like personally. Paloma Elsesser, I think she's so beautiful. But this woman looked like Paloma Elsesser, and she was walking down the street, and she had a purse and a black jacket, and she was wearing nurse's scrubs. But she didn't look too happy, and she had a big cut on her head right here, and it was bleeding. Across the street from where she was, there were many men, and they were black, and they were laughing at her. Well, I drove by because what am I going to do? I don't know. But she was walking away. So I don't know what happened there. But certainly something happened. So I guess that's what I'm going to talk about today. As an American, you don't think about violence all the time, but violence is always thinking about you. It's always coming at you. Whether it's through the news, the TV, on the street, like that woman, or just in many forms and shapes. And it permeates culture, and it permeates the history of America. American history is very violent. And there is this idea of violence against women, which is a real thing that happens. But then there's the idea of violence against women in movies and TV shows. And oftentimes, the violence against women that is shown in movies and TV is only against white women. But most of the time, the violence that is the worst and most constant is towards women of color, and also poor women, because they are more vulnerable due to racism in society and also class disparity. I hope that woman is okay, but it was a big cut right here, bleeding. It was like, dang, goodness gracious, in broad daylight too. When you hear about women going missing or women getting killed, it's usually white women who go missing or get killed who get the most attention from the news and etc. I've heard, from activists in real life and online that Native American women go missing and get beat up on a lot on reservations or wherever they may live. I saw a website that I found that was made by Native Americans. It was a newsletter, and it was called The Drum, and I found a list of Native Americans that were missing from all the tribes in the U.S., and it had their pictures and their names. And it was a newsletter, and it was just full of people who are missing, and they don't know where they are, and they're all Native American. And there's so many of them. And I was looking at them, and I was like, damn, that looks like one of my coworkers. That lady looks like she would be an aunt of some sort. That lady looks like a nurse that I met one time, And yet, she's missing and nobody knows where she's gone. And why is that? Where could she have gone? Because really, the world is a very big, beautiful, vast place with many different people and many different things going on at any given time. But you put a dead body somewhere, you're gonna find it.